Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here behind the camera for TFL, and we have a really sweet vehicle in front of us, the 2025 Volkswagen id.buzz. I've had the chance to look at this a couple times now, but now we get to see it in production form, ready to be sold, and we're gonna take a walk around it and show you all the little features and just talk about the specs a little bit. I can't talk about how it drives just yet. That's gonna be coming in another video later on this week, or next week actually, so stay tuned for that if you wanna see this actually going down the road. But I figured I would just show you a little up close and tell you about it a little bit, and yeah, just get some hands-on with the new id.buzz. So 2025 Volkswagen id.buzz, one of the most anticipated vehicles of the year, I think. And I think Volkswagen just absolutely knocked it out of the park in terms of design. This one's in a really cool orange and white two-tone, and a lot of these, or most of the color options in this vehicle are a two-tone look. Most cars, when they come out, they have kind of that hero color that, you know, all the advertising is in. There's usually one color that's kind of the main crazy color or the main draw color. But with the id.buzz, there are plenty of color options that look like they could be that hero color. They're all fun, they're all bright. There's some exceptions. There is, you know, like a silver, a black, a white. But for the most part, all the color options are really bright and really fun. And there are a couple of them that are unique to the US as well that you won't see in Europe, because this vehicle is a little different than the id.buzz that's being sold overseas. This one is a 3-row, whereas those are a little shorter and mostly 2-row vehicles, and we don't get a cargo version here in the US, whereas in Europe they do get a cargo version. Give you a little close-up on the wheels here, some of the fun design elements. Really like those old school looking wheels that come in black and white. You can see these slats in the rear part here to kind of call back to the old Volkswagen buses of the 60s. I think they did a really good job with that. Huge Volkswagen logos at the front and rear, and the one up front has a light bar that extends the width of the vehicle, and then this Volkswagen logo is also illuminated at night. So really distinct look when this is in your rear view mirror coming down the road when it's dark outside, which is pretty cool. Now, before we go any further, I have to give a huge thanks to our friend Scott at Rider Justice and O'Sullivan Law. He's been making a lot of these videos possible for us, and he's sponsoring all the id.buzz stuff we're doing, and we're actually buying one of these. So when we get our hands on our own TFL-owned id.buzz, we're going to be doing lots of videos with it. And yeah, that's all thanks to Scott. So if you're ever in an accident, whether that's on 2 wheels or 4, make sure you call Scott first, and his info is in the description below. I want to talk a little bit about specs for this new id.buzz. So it's built on the MEB platform, which is shared with the Volkswagen ID.4 and the Audi Q4 e-tron. So pretty similar battery specs to those, 91 kilowatt hour battery, and it does support 200 kilowatt DC fast charging. So Volkswagen says that you can go from 10% to 80% charge in about 30 minutes. There's also 11 kilowatt AC level 2 charging for charging up at home, and the charge door is right there in the rear, kind of behind the rear wheel. Close that up. In terms of range and horsepower and stuff, there are 2 different variants of the id.buzz. The one you're looking at right now is a rear-wheel drive model. You can also get this in all-wheel drive, which we will be doing for Colorado. So this one, the rear-wheel drive, is going to make 282 horsepower, and you're going to get a total 234 miles of range according to the EPA. All-wheel drive range is similar, just a tiny bit less, 231 miles in the all-wheel drive variant, so you lose out on 3 miles of range if you go with the all-wheel drive, but you get quite a bit more power in the all-wheel drive model, 335 horsepower versus 282 horsepower that you see in this rear-wheel drive variant right now. And then 0 to 60, at least in the all-wheel drive, is listed at 6 seconds, and both the all-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive models make 413 foot-pounds of torque. I'm gonna walk to the rear, give you one more number, because Some of these are equipped with a tow hitch. This one I don't believe has it. No, it does not, but you can see the cutout for it there. It's gonna have a retractable tow hitch, which is kind of a cool feature. And you're gonna get 3,500 pounds of towing if you go with the all-wheel drive model, or 2,600 pounds if you go with the rear-wheel drive model. So not huge towing numbers, but I think that's acceptable for what kind of vehicle this is. I do wanna poke around the interior a little bit because I think that's where all the magic is in this id.buzz. So you've got a little Volkswagen script here on the B pillar, or maybe that's the C pillar since you've got this funky design up here, but we'll pop this open. This has my favorite interior color out of the three. This is the Dune color, so really bright, really beachy. And you can see good materials. These are leatherette seats. You've got the ID logo in there. Love, love, love the white steering wheel that comes with this Dune color, and I think the orange. Even though it doesn't perfectly match the exterior paint on this one, I think that's a really nice touch and just lends to the playfulness of this vehicle. Really dig the kind of fun touches they've been doing on the inside too, like this play pause button on the pedals. I think that's a really nice touch. And one of the craziest things is once you get behind the wheel, I can really, even if I try, I can't reach that front windshield. There is just so much distance there, which makes this feel really special when you get behind the wheel. It's super roomy. If I flip the camera around here, you can see headroom is massive. There's tons of width here, so you know, space between me and if there were a passenger in here isn't an issue at all. You've got captain's chairs with armrests, so it's a really comfortable place to sit. Really dig that. Flip the camera around again. You've got a little phone slot here, which is pretty neat. 2 USB-C ports there. There's USB-C ports all over this vehicle. You've got another one right there. This is making all kinds of noise right now. You've got another one in the door there. Shut up, Volkswagen. What are you doing? Maybe I need to start it. I don't know. Hopefully that noise goes away. You've got a little bit of a shelf here. I'm gonna start it, so maybe that will go away. That noise is driving me nuts. Oh my God, what is going on here? Some of these come equipped with a Harman Kardon sound system. This one has it, you can see right there. But overall, just a super unique, super cool interior that is unlike really anything else out on the road. Really flat floor, some interesting looking floor mats, and then you've got this center console area, which is removable. And on the models with a second row captain's chair, you can move that to the back. Infotainment screen. This might be a mistake starting this up again, but I want to show you the infotainment. Really colorful, really responsive. I like this system a lot. Not a huge fan of the volume slider here, but this is all really nice to use, and I like the software they have in this vehicle. A couple different drive modes here: Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom. And you can also go in and look at things like charging. Tons to do on the screen. I think the design of it is all pretty killer, pretty top notch. So I'm liking that. These are also kind of fun, these kind of steps that they have in the door sill when you get into the vehicle. And this one doesn't have it either, but some of the higher trims have a heated windshield with the little lines that go through to melt the snow off your windshield, which is awesome. Let's pop over to the rear of the vehicle. Powered doors, obviously, that are pretty huge. This is one of the more base models, so you get a bench seat to sit 3 across in the second row. Knee room and headroom is all very, very impressive. So much space in here. It is such a roomy vehicle, and I think a lot of that is the wheels are pushed to the outsides, and yeah, it just feels super, super roomy inside. A little bit of a funky window in the rear, but you do have an openable window, but it is just this little front portion here. I don't think the car, oh, it is on. So yeah, you can see that kind of work. It kind of pops out towards you a little bit and then slides back, and you get a little bit of airflow. Rear climate control as well on both sides, which is sweet. Really comfortable, really roomy. We'll go ahead and close that up. There is a third row, obviously. I want to show you the trunk. Third row space is pretty roomy as well. I'm not going to climb back there in this video. I'll save that for the full review, but knee room's really impressive even for adults. You've got some more USB-C ports in the rear. A little bit of a shelf here with some storage bins underneath, and this whole thing, my camera gear wearing on here, has some struts that help you lift it up a little bit. Go ahead and close that back up. One thing I'm curious about that I want to check is the front trunk or the front area. So we're going to pull this latch here, do a double pull just in case. This little front portion pops open. And no storage in there, but you do have your serviceable items. So you've got like your windshield washer fluid and some other things you might need some access to in this front portion here, but no storage. That's all right though, because you've got plenty of space inside of the id.buzz to fit everything you want to haul with you, especially if you put the seats down. There is a ton of room. Starting price is about $60,000, $59,995. Let's look in the glove box of this one, see if there's a sticker for how this one is optioned. And you can see base price $63,495 for this Pro S Plus, so kind of middle trim and rear wheel drive. So after destination, $66,040. There is a $995 upcharge for the two-tone paint. There is a first edition available as well. But overall, such a cool, unique vehicle. I'm excited to tell you all about how it drives next week in the full drive review. But for now, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a walk around because there's a ton of excitement around this new id.buzz. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that with you. It's not too often you get a vehicle that turns this many heads, a new vehicle that turns this many heads. And this is one that everyone's probably going to be looking over at, wondering what it is until you start to see a lot of them on the road, because it is just so unique. But anyway, thanks for watching. Just wanted to give you a real quick walk around of this new 2025 id.buzz, and stay tuned for the full review at alltfl.com, and we'll get it out on the road, show you how it drives. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.